It's a sad day in the studio today, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But hi, this is Kelly with Kelly's Creative Dream Studios, and we are on day 30 of the 31 days of Halloween. Can you believe it? We've come this far. Today, I wanted to do something a little different, and that is, if I can find one of my tag bases, here we go. We're going to talk about souls today, and particularly I thought what I'd do is I've got a paper from Graphic 45 that I want to use today. Kind of a Thrifty Thursday because I think I got these all in one pack on a clearance aisle. And I'm going to lay some of the stripping off to the side. And I don't want this, I don't think. And that one you can see I've cut out a I'm not thinking very clear this morning. I've cut out a memory dex card. And a memory dex card for this would have been perfect. And I'll probably do a memory dex card later for my box. But we're not doing memory dex cards. We are doing tags. So I really like this gate. This was from the Happy Haunting collection. Midnight Magic from Graphic 45. And I've had this, oh God, at least 20 plus years. So it's a good time to thrift it out of my stash. Let me see if I can see where I laid my cutter, because it's not here. I guess I'll use my Stampin' Up! Trimmer this morning, because I don't see the other one. And I'm just going to cut this off. And I'm not sure what pieces and parts of this I'm going to use, because while it's plenty wide for a tag, it's not tall enough. So I'm not sure what I'm doing with this, but I think I have an idea. And I may need to go grab that other Graphic 45 envelope that I have over there in the room, where I have stashed all of my stuff during this process. Now see, here's a nice big section. Maybe not. These two the same size they are. But I have an idea. And I don't want to use that whole great big grate. So I'm going to let this stuff off to the side. And I'm going to go grab that other paper from Graphic 45 really quick. And as I grab this, I'm not sure if it is Graphic 45. It may be Authentique. It is. It's Authentique. So we're going to maybe mix and match these two today, because this is another one of those I have had in my stash. No. Fancy Pants Designs. And I wanted just a little bit of this wallpapery thing in the back. I also thought about looking at Tim Holtz's worn wallpapers. That also was a thought. But what I want to do is see how this is going to fit. Yeah, we're going to take this top part off. I'm going to leave this. I think I'm going to take all the banners off, actually. I don't want the banners. I just want the fence. No, wait a minute. I was looking to see if I had one that was just the fence that I don't have to cut off. There we go. That'll work. So our tag is 4 1/4 by 6 1/2, and I'm going to have to open this up to get my 6 1/2. Now this is going to be kind of a dark and moody piece today, and I'm going to cut this out because I think I want to try and keep as much of that light part as I can up near the top. Yeah, let's do this. No, this way. Let's cut this off here. And hopefully I made enough to go 6 1/2. I did. We're good. And then I want to leave as much of this in the center as I can. So I'm going to take this. Why does that not look like it's long enough? Well, it is. And I want to go 4 1/4, but I'm going to go 4 1/2. And I can always trim off if I need to. As I said, this is going to be a little bit dark. We are having to put my cat down today. We've had Spirit for 21 years and 8 months. He has been my little black cat for years, though he's far from little. After we had to put my sister's cat down that we had taken responsibility for when she went to Italy, I had a dream that I was going to get another cat someday. It was going to be either a black cat or a white cat, and it was going to be named Spirit. So I kept that in the back of my head. And one night I went to a Stampin' Up! Party at a friend's house. And the gal that we rode with was picking up one of the cats, or one of the kittens. And that was going to leave this little black kitten all to his own devices. They were barn kitties, and they were born on Good Friday. And as soon as I picked up that little black cat and he snuggled into my neck and started purring, I knew he was going to be my cat. And I knew his name was going to be Spirit. And so it began, our journey with Spirit Kitty. What started out as a small little kitten, as you know they grow, turned into 18 pounds of cuddle kitty, until I got to where I couldn't stand having a hot box sleeping against me at night anymore, and so I had to relinquish him from the bedroom, and he's been sleeping out in the laundry room or in the kitchen or the living room or wherever he sees fit to lay for the past 20 years. Now, when he was a kitten, he had to see, he's always loved water. He's had to see what Mama was doing. And he would run from halfway across the house, jump up into the middle of my back, and sit on my shoulder to see what I was doing. That was Spirit. Full of spirit. I guess naming him Spirit was appropriate. And he doesn't do that so much anymore, hasn't for years. But he has been such a tolerant kitty of anything else or anyone else we brought into the house. He's not fond of people. He will go hide in the bedroom given the opportunity. And so yeah, he's been with us for 20 years. 21. Okay, now I had that piece laying here. What did I do with it? I buried it under my... It was here a minute ago. I buried it all underneath these other scraps. Here it is. So he's been getting increasingly older and fighting with things. Now I don't think if I want to leave the Halloween, I'm not too concerned about that. I think I want to go this way and put that gate there. I think that's what I want to do. So I'm going to flip this over and I'm going to mark where that needs to get cut off. And so we made the decision yesterday. Well, actually, Earth Mother tapped me on the shoulder at 12:30 night before last and woke me up and said it's time. And I knew this time was coming. It doesn't make it any easier. We all know that. Bob sat in the middle of the... Oh, that's not the side I wanted. That's not it. That's the side I wanted. So Bob sat, and I sat at the kitchen table with him yesterday morning. From the day I brought him home, he has been a cat that has laid on the table in the crook of Bobby's arms for coffee in the mornings and spent daddy time. And so yesterday, but for the last week or so, he's not been able to jump, really a couple of weeks, he's not been able to jump up on the table and get in daddy's arms. So daddy's been picking him up and setting him up there. And so we sat at the table with him yesterday morning and petted him and cried. And now I've got a couple of sayings in, let's see, I am in the Halloween 2023 book from Tim Holtz. And the reason I did that is because there are a couple of pictures here. And Halloween is about, it's not necessarily about per se, but on Halloween, it's what is known as Samhain, and we celebrate are past souls. And so I thought what I would do is I would use one of these. And I think what I want to do is I'm going to put it on a piece of black. Not so that the black frame can show so much, but I want just a whisper of it so it creates like a shadow. See, I'm not putting very much behind there at all. And then I'm going to come through and do just a sliver around it here. And I got to come off wider here so I can cut from the right direction. Otherwise, I'm cutting into a shadow. I've got just enough to make it pop off that background, because it really is a darker wallpaper than I wanted to use. And we're going to go ahead and put black dimensionals on here and pop it up. Because, you know, frames don't lay flat against a wall, right? But I'm not going to go over intrusive here, just this. So, we have a favorite vet, Dr. Michael from Barn Hollow Veterinary Clinic here in Mountain View. And I have known Mike for, well, since he started his practice. And so we're going to position this right here. And I'm going to put the gate down here. Now the gate is going to be flush. And even though Mike has a very busy day today, he's going to come out after he's finished with his cattle calls. And he's going to come out and let us put Spirit down here at the house. I did that with Goddess about 4 years ago. And her spirit still lingers in the house. And we wanted to make sure that Spirit stayed here as well. So Mike will be out here about 4:30 this afternoon to put my Spirit kitty down. Put him to sleep and send him over the Rainbow Bridge. Now, am I going to be glad to see Spirit go? No. I'll be glad that he's not in pain anymore. Now, I do want to put this one maybe. I do want to include Halloween on there because that's, let me dust this off. Because Halloween is when the veil between the worlds is thinner. And it's easier to communicate with those that have passed before us. And I chose this woman because my stepmom, well, actually, I will always refer to her as my mom. She was my stepmom, but she wasn't. She was the woman who taught me how to do everything. Now, see, that's going to go, I don't like that that's not trimmed up close there. It's bothered me. So we'll do that. She's the one that taught me how to be a housewife, how to do all the stuff that I do in the house. I learned so much from her about being a housewife and taking care of my family, and she's just it. So I chose this more regal woman here to represent my stepmom for this. Now we are at 13 minutes, and I'm going to be running fast to get this put up. I don't think I want to put, well, I did see one sentiment here, and I wasn't sure I wanted to use it, but I may put it right up against above her. And you know, I think I'm going to put somewhere near me. No. Maybe I'll, I had one in mind. Maybe it was on this page. I don't like a sensitive soul. It doesn't pop out enough. Somewhere near me. I think I like that one. And I think it needs to pop off the black. So I'm going to go ahead and dust it really quick. And I haven't decided on the topper yet. So what I'm going to do, because Spirit is laying out there waiting for me to come spend mommy time with him. And this will be our last morning together. So I'm going to cut this short. And you can visit my blog or my Instagram channel to see what I chose for a ribbon at the top. But for now, I'm going to dust this with, nope, not going to use the glue. I want to do it with the little glue dots too, and we can put 3 on there. I can get them off the backing paper. And I will be honoring my stepmom for Halloween this year. Put that down, and then maybe I can get this other backing piece off because it didn't want to come off. There we go. So that's going to do it for me in the studio today. I'm going to go spend time with my kitty cat. And I will see you back here tomorrow for the 31 days of Halloween, day 31. In the meantime, please remember to like, to share, subscribe, and spooky creative blessings.